Alright, I know a lot of people are probably not going to like what I've done here, but you know, it happens. Um, just want to show you is what I've resolved and what I did to resolve it, and I didn't really, the final product is I didn't actually have to change anything, which is really weird. So on my AU Falcon, I had no brake lights. Strangely enough, is when I put the new spoiler on, and I went to check the brake lights, I had no brake lights. I don't know if I had the problem before putting that spoiler on because I never checked the brake lights prior to that. Anyway, so trying to find the fault, I've cut into that's the Parker and that's the brake. That's brown and green, yep. And so what I did was, to start off here, I joined the Parker and the brake together to see what would happen at the back if the brake lights worked, and they did. The spoiler light worked, the brake light on the other side worked, and everything. So I was just basically sending power to the back here and using that feed to power up the brake lights to see if there was a problem there, and there isn't. I then came down to here, which looks like a big mess from whatever. I don't know why this was done. I get this part here, and I'm going to refix this. That's done wrong. That's going to the connection for my trailer plug. But whatever this plug here is for, I have no idea. So I then followed that, and that became a green line, red trace with double tag. So following that down to the doorway here, and I cut into the cable here. Now this is the parking lights, and this is the brake. So there's your green wire with red line, double tag. Now that wire there comes up to the switch under here. If I can show you. Okay, that's the switch there. Easy enough to unplug. And that's both wires are green, red trace, double grey tag. So I then put this back on, and I tried to follow underneath the bonnet where that wire came out, and I disconnected the ABS here. Now I didn't undo any wires here, but I was just trying to see from the outside if I could find it, and I couldn't. But I left it disconnected anyway, not intentionally. So if you was to do this, I would disconnect. If you was to try this out, I would disconnect this ABS first, which is easy enough. You go and put it on and push this arm in or pull it out. That's your ABS there. I'm going to take it back off just for a second while I do this. Now, what I did was, interestingly enough, is I put the Parkers on, and I then joined the wire here, the brake line, to the brake line there, the Parkers. So I joined the brake to the Parkers here, and then I pressed my foot on the brake, or hand on the brake rather, and I'll just join those together for a second. Now Parkers are on, brake lights at the back are on. Obviously there's no feed going to the other side of that switch. Now I wonder if you can hear it. I don't know if you could, but what that does, when I press the brakes in, actually can see it. When I press the brakes in with the feed on, ignition comes on. Now for whatever reason, when I did that, and then disconnected it, I'm timbering the brakes there, my brake lights start working. I don't know why, but it's like that's all it needed, was just a bit of a kick in the rear end, and feeding the power the opposite way. Sorry, the camera stopped out there, didn't realise that happened. Anyway, I'll just show you this here. So at the moment, Parkers are on. And now the brake lights are on. And I don't know why that fixed the problem. But anyway, so now I'm not gonna jimmy it up and just freaking twist wires and shit. I'm actually gonna solder all this together and use a heavier wire between the two, fix it all up properly. But yeah, I don't like cutting into wires either. Sometimes track a problem down, you have to do what you have to do. Alright, so, well anyway, I hope that helps someone out. And I'd really love a link to a fuse box, because my cover has nothing on it. So I don't know which one of those fuses is what. And when I ask on Facebook, everybody just goes, check the switch, or, you know, check the bulbs, whatever. And I specifically ask of what the fuses are. And it's got to be that. I can't find a cover to that at all. So if someone wants to share a link to a fuse box cover, that'd be awesome. I'll print it out and put it in here then. So well anyway, apparently fuse 4 is supposed to be brake lights, it's tail. And then I've read somewhere else that fuse 5 is supposed to be brake lights, but I don't think so. You know, it's got power there anyway. And then when I searched for the Ford forums, it says fuse 7 is supposed to be brake lights. So if anyone's got a fair income picture or something of what this fuse box layout is and what every fuse is, that'll be awesome. And just a quick mention, you needn't go through all the wiring like I did. If you're going to attempt this, you could have simply just cut the two wires here and join them together. Go in the car, turn the parkers on, press your foot on the brake, and that'll send power through the brake line, exactly the same as what I did down here. Or you could just run power directly from battery if you wanted to, run a wire around to the switch there and just join it straight to the switch, just for that quick instant back feed, and that's all you needed. You needn't do any more than that. I don't know why that worked. But anyway, don't do this. That was just me tracing the wires back and trying things out. Of course, check the brake switch first to make sure the brake switch isn't faulty. Check the globes first to make sure all the bulbs aren't blown. The obvious things first. If everything else checks out like me, everything seems to work right, but you've just got no brake lights. This was not going to be my fix, but since it decides to work, I'm going to leave it. I'm not going any further, just soldering all the wires back together and fixing it up. Alright, cheers guys.